to the next part, that is component of a window. Component of a window, it contain around 11 or 12 components. So every window maybe all or maybe some of the window will be having these components. Okay, it is not necessary that all the window will be having this component. Okay, so it is not necessary. Okay, so a typical window may be composed of up to dozen or so element, whatever we will display right now. So whatever we are going to learn, some appear on the all window, other on a certain kind of window or under certain conditions. Okay, so for consistency purposes, these elements should always be located in the same position within a window. Okay, so that the components of the window can be seen. Okay, starting with the components of the window, the first component is the frame. Very simple one. Now a window will have a frame or a border. Okay, usually we see a thick border or thin border. So different kinds of windows are having different kinds of borders, or we can say different kinds of frames. Okay, so we have seen we are having frames in our home. Okay, so those frames are used to cover a photograph or a painting or a scenario or a scene, whatever we are having. So we use some kind of frame so that that particular painting or that particular kind of scene can be covered or can be prevented using the frame. Okay, so a window will have a frame or a border, usually rectangular in shape, to define its boundaries and distinguish it from other windows. So while a border need not be rectangular, this shape is preferred shape for the most of the people, because for the textual material we know that all the textual materials are read from left to right and from top to bottom. So each and every frame will be like in the rectangular shape only. The border comprises a line of variable thickness and color. So I told you recently that different windows are having different types of thickness for their windows. Okay, if a window is resizable, it may contain control points for sizing it. Okay, you have seen three number of dot. So three dot you have seen in the right bottom corner, right lower corner of any window, so that you can resize the windows. Okay, the size of the window can be varies. Okay, it can be changed by using that particular resizing corners. Those are called resizing corners and those are called resizing buttons. Okay, if the window cannot be resized, the border coincide with the edge of the window. Okay, so this is all about the first component, that is frame. So frame is basically a rectangular shape, we can say a well thicknessed borders of any window. Okay, come to the next one, that is title bar. Okay, as we know that every window will be having a unique name or unique title. Okay, so that title is to be placed on the title bar. So we have a place on which we can put proper name. The title bar is the top edge of the window inside its border and extending its entire width. Okay, so this title bar is also referred by some platform as the caption bar or title area. So basically it is nothing but the name of the window. So basically is the place where the name of the window will be written. Okay, the third point, the title bar contains a descriptive title identifying the purpose or the content of the window. Okay, if it is a warning message, then on the top of the that is on the title bar we will write it's a warning message. If it's a dialog box, then we'll write select a file or select a folder. Okay, so for whatever purpose we have created, that particular window will be displayed on the title bar. So the second the second component of a window is the title bar. The third one is the title bar icon. Okay, now after title bar, now the name has been given, the title has been given, or the caption is given. Okay, now we have the next is title bar icon. So there is an icon on the left corner of the title bar in the primary window. Okay, that the primary window is also very important because this is written on there and this is present in the primary window only. Okay, The primary window will be having the title. We'll see what is primary window, what is secondary window in the later slide, but right now this we are focusing on the title bar icon. So this is the icon which is placed on the left corner, sorry, on the left corner, left side top corner of the window. Okay, and this button is used in the window to retrieve a pull down menu of commands. Okay, if we click on that particular icon, then there will be a pull down menu, okay, in which there will be number of options available to interact with that particular object what we have selected in the window. Okay, it is a 16 by 16 pixel version of the icon of the object being viewed. Okay, this is the icon having size 16 by 16, and when clicked with the secondary mouse button, the right click is the secondary one. Okay, the left one is the primary mouse button, the right one is the secondary mouse button. So when click the right button will be clicked, the commands applying to the objects are presented. Like we have to close this window, we have to resize this window, we have to maximize this window, we have to minimize this window, we have to restore this window. Whatever options will be there, it will be shown to you if we click on the if we click on that particular icon from the right hand side, from the right mouse button. Okay, so this is the third component, that is title bar icon. Okay, coming to the next one, that is window sizing button. Okay, window sizing button, these are the button you can see on the right hand side of the window, on the top of the right hand side top one. Okay, so you will find three buttons. One button is the underscore button. Okay, second is the square button. Okay, and the third button is the cross button. Okay, um, the leftmost button, that is the minimize button. Okay, this which is defined as the underscore one. Okay, with a short horizontal line towards the bottom of the button, is used to reduce a window to its minimum size. Okay, if you want to minimize, if you want to we can use this button to make the window to its minimum size button. Okay, usually an icon. Okay, it also hide all associated windows. The maximize button. Okay, now we are having the maximize button, typically inscribed with a large box. Okay, I told you that it's a rectangular box. Okay, so this rectangular box, a single rectangular box enlarges a window to its maximum size. Okay, to its maximum size. Okay, usually the entire screen, because the maximum size will be the entire screen. Okay, beyond the screen, the window cannot go beyond the screen. Now when the screen is maximized, the restore button replaces the maximize button. Okay, so when the screen is maximized, now the screen is full. Okay, so the restore button, there is a button called a restore button, and the restore button is recognized as a two rectangular boxes, one after another, we can say in the overlapping mode. So the one rectangular box, then the second rectangular box will be above that particular box. Okay, so overlapping one. Okay, when a screen is maximized, the restore button replaces the maximize button, because the window can no longer be increased in the size. So you can, with the restore button, typically inscribed with a pair of overlapping boxes, returns the window to the size it had before. Okay, to gain the size what we have, so what we were having in the earlier size, so to gain that particular size, we can use the restore button, so it will restore to the previous size. The last one, a close button, typically inscribed with a cross button. The X is written over there. This closes the window. So basically, window sizing buttons are the underscore button, or we can say a single small horizontal line. Okay, so with the help of this button, we can minimize the window. With the help of the next button is the button which is having the rectangular box in its icon. So from that particular button we can maximize the screen to its to the size of the screen whatever you are having. The third one, we can restore. When the screen is maximized, the restore button replaces the maximize button. Okay, then we can use the restore button to gain to come to restore to the previous size. And the last one is the cross one, we can close the window using this button. Okay, so these are the windows sizing buttons. Next is menu bar. Okay, menu bar we have seen for all kind of windows. If you consider the my computer window, then you will find file and file, help, and other options are available. Okay, I don't know the exact options available for that, but you can see by going to the screen, by going to the my computer. Okay, so a menu bar is used to organize and provide access to the actions. Okay, so whatever options you are having, so those options are put it inside the menu bar. It is located horizontally at the top of the window, just below the title bar. So below the title bar you will find all the icons in the menu bar. A menu bar contains a list of topics or items that when selected are displayed on a pull down menu. When you click on the file button, when you click on the file option, then it will be having a pull down menu like option, and it will display open, save as, close. So all these options will be displayed in the pull down button. Okay, a system will typically provide a default set of menu action that can be augmented by an application, and in the past some platform have called the menu bar an action bar also. Okay, so this menu bar can be called as the action bar also. Basically your menu bar will be having all the options like file, edit, help, tool, format. So all these are the menu bar. Okay, so the collection of all these options are menu bar. If you click on this particular menu bar, then it will pull down all the sub options which are available to which are available and which are relevant to that particular option. Okay, so this is all about the menu bar, the fifth component of the window. Coming to the next one, that is status bar. Information of use to the user can be displayed in a designated screen area or the areas, and they may be located at the top of the screen in some platform and called as a status area. The status of all these actions are put inside the status bar. So Microsoft recommend the bottom location and refers to this area as the status bar. It is also referred by the other platform as a message area or message bar. So basically the status of all the action what you have performed. Basically it is the status of all the action what you have performed on different option, for different menus. Okay, for different available option. So the status of all those action will be displayed under the the status bar. Seventh is the scroll bar. Scroll bar is very common. We have seen if the screen or the windows content information is available, but you cannot see the content. This is beyond the page. Okay, beyond the page. Then you have to use the scroll bars kind of buttons. Okay, when all the display information cannot be presented in a window, the additional information must be found and made visible. Okay, how we can do it? This is accomplished by scrolling the display content through the use of scroll bar. We are having two kind of scroll bar. One is the horizontal, second is the vertical. The horizontal scroll sorry the horizontal scroll bar is at the bottom of the window, and the vertical scroll bar is on the right hand side of the window. Okay, but both are available for in the windows only. So a scroll bar is an elongated rectangular container consisting of a scroll area which you can scroll, which you can move the strip located inside that particular scroll bar. You can drag this particular strip to the upward direction and to the downward direction. For I'm just talking about the vertical scroll bar. Okay, so that the content which is beyond the page you can see that particular information. Okay, so it consists of a scroll area, or we can say shaft, a slider box or elevator, and arrows or anchors at each other. For vertical scrolling, the scroll bar is positioned at the far right side of the work area. Okay, and the horizontal scroll bar or the scrolling is accomplished through the scroll bar located at the bottom of the work area. Okay, so scroll bars are used to see the content which is beyond the page. So the basic definition or the basic explanation of these scroll bars are used. These scroll bars are used to see the content or the information which are beyond the page, horizontally or vertically respectively. Okay, coming to the next one, that is split box. Okay, if you want to see the same screen or the same data in two different views, from two different views, then we have one option, that is split box. You can see in the diagram, you will find the diagram on the right hand side. You will find in the upper diagram the option which has been showed with the red circle, and the below diagram you can see, you will find 1 2 3 4 5 6 dot is presented. Using this option called as the split box, this is used to separate the viewing areas that are called panes. Okay, so basically to divide the viewing area, to separate the viewing area, and these different separated areas are called panes. Okay, a window can be split into two or more pieces or panes by manipulating a split box located above the vertical scroll bar or at the left, whatever location it is, but you can see on the screen. A window can be split. A window can be split into two or more separate viewing areas that are called panes. Okay, earlier I told you, splitting a window permit multiple views of an object. Okay, so if you split a window, so it will allow you to view the object from multiple views. A split window enables the user to examine two parts of the document at the same time, and to display different views of the same information can be displayed easily. Okay, so using split boxes, the same area can be divided into two separate viewing areas. Okay, and these two different separate areas are called as panes. Okay, coming to the next one, that is toolbar. So toolbar, in our normal Microsoft Word, Word, Excel, and PowerPoint, we are having a lot of tools. Okay, and these tools are grouped together. Okay, for example, for drawing something, for drawing and for shaping, for pictures, we have a different toolbar called as the Word Art, and for visual one, we have Visual Basic toolbars, in which all the options, all the icons of the Visual Basic will be displayed. And regarding pictures, there is a different toolbar you can see. Okay, so these toolbars are located in our screen, that is in the MS Word, MS Excel, MS PowerPoint. You can see all the toolbars are already there. You can add a new toolbar also. You can remove the existing toolbar also. We are having a lot of these options available in our Windows. Okay, so this is all about the toolbar. I will not go into the deep and reading, just as they are written, so you can read the content. The 10th one is the command area. If you want to give some command in the existing window, then you can use this command area component, because it is not applicable in all the kind of windows. If you are having any warning message, if you are having any dialog boxes, then the command area will not be present in that particular window. Okay, the command area will be present in any kind of window which is having some task is to be performed, some action is to be performed. Okay, so in situation where it is useful for command to be typed into a screen, or command area can be a command area can be provided in that situation. The desired location of the command area is at the bottom of the window. If the horizontal scroll bar is included in the window, position the command area just below it. Okay, so this is all about the position. We are not going to into the deep. The command area is basically we use this command area in a situation where it is useful for a command to be typed. We need to type some command, or we need to type something which is we have to perform some sort of action. Okay, so where we can use this command area. The 11th one is the size grid. You have seen this, we can say these are called as three angled parallel lines. Okay, these are the angled parallel lines, 1 2 3. So we have three angled parallel lines. Okay, in the lower right corner of the window, designate the size grid. Okay, so from this with the help of this option, we can resize the window. Okay, as you can see, the notepad window is displayed. Okay, so we can change the size of the width and height can be changed using this resizing size grip. Okay, size grip is the Microsoft Windows special handle. Okay, won't find this thing in any other one. Okay, this triangle parallel lines. So a size grip is a Microsoft Windows special handle included in a window to permit it to be resized. When the grip is dragged, the window resizes following the same convention as the sizing borders. Okay, so if the window possesses a status bar, the grip is positioned at the bar's right hand. You will find there is a status bar over here. So otherwise it is located at the bottom vertical scroll bar, the right side junction point. Okay, so this is all just about the position of the size grip, but the main task is that the main point, the main concentration area is that why the size grip is used. These are the resizing corners. We can also say that these are the resizing corners. Okay, so all the last one is the work area. I don't think there's another. So the last one is the work area. Okay, the work area is the portion of the screen where the user perform tasks. Okay, apart from all this, the menu bar, the toolbar, the title and the title icon, the resizing corners, scroll bars, and the status bar. Apart from all these things, the area which is now left is the work area. Okay, the work area is the place or the portion of the screen where the user perform basically some kind of task. Okay, so if it is a notepad, as you have seen in the previous example, if it is notepad, then the portion which is displayed in the white color, you can type something. Okay, basically notepad is used to, is nothing but a editor. You can type some information, you can type a program or any information you want to type, you can type over there. So that is basically a work area for notepad. It is the open area inside a Windows border and contains relevant peripherals screen components such as the menu bar, scroll bar, or the message bar, what we have seen. Okay, and the work area may also be referred as the client area. Okay, so this is all about the components of the Windows. Let me show you what are the different. We'll go into the direction. So these are the component of the window. The component of the windows include frame, the boundary, the title bar, the caption bar, we can say, or the title or the place where the title or the name, the unique name will be placed. The third one is the title bar icon. Title bar icon is the icon which is of 16 by 16 size, which is going to be placed on the left hand side of the top corner. Window sizing buttons, the underscore button, that is the small horizontal line, square button, restoring button, and close button. These are called window sizing button. Menu bars, then status bar, scroll bar, horizontal, vertical, then split boxes, it will separate the viewing areas into two different area, and these different areas are called as panes. This is called a split box option. Next is toolbar. These are different options are grouped together to form a toolbar. Then the command area. The next is size grip, from which you can resize the corners. These are called resizing corners also, so you can resize the size of the window. The last is the work area. Okay, thank you so much.